How do you deal with massive amounts of rejection? That's the question. I am the anonymous administrator, call it Anon Admin. I'm going to be starting up my blog at newthinkingnewlife.com. I'm going to be doing more of these types of podcasts here on YouTube, and maybe I'll put myself on a podcast service. I don't know how to do myself on a podcast service, but we'll figure it all out. It'll be good. So how do you take massive amounts of rejection? Most of you guys don't know who I am. Maybe one or two of you do. The truth of the matter is I put up a couple of videos with my face on it, and I took them down. Why did I do that? Well, because I've done the voice thing, and it seems to get the same feedback as the face thing. And I want to talk about stuff that may not be very good for the people around me, because I don't want them to feel rejection. But I take rejection on a daily basis. How much rejection do I take? Quite a lot. See, I work in an industry called sales, and I do what's the equivalent of cold calling. And for me, I have to take rejection dozens, maybe even hundreds of times before I get even one person to acknowledge that I exist. Now, you might say, that's asinine, that's stupid, and there's no reason that you should ever live that life. Well, okay, let's be honest here. I didn't finish what I was doing in school. I'm not going to be hired as a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And sales, no matter what anybody tells you, can be a very incredibly good opportunity. It's a very lucrative opportunity to make a lot of money. Now, I do make very good income compared to some people, and not to where my standards are in life, and I do take rejection on a daily basis. So, I'm not saying I'm making $1 million a year, but I'm not making minimum wage, and I do it by avoiding the fact that rejection can tear me down. Now, a long time ago, rejection did tear me down. A long time ago, rejection would have crippled me. Not a long time ago, even just 1 year ago. I'll give you an idea. I looked at my last week that I had, and I get paid on a weekly basis, and I said to myself, that was very difficult. I only had 3 sales, and I managed to almost lose my mind trying to get a 4th. I did one thing though, and I looked at last year and realized that last year I had no sales. So I went from no sales to 3 sales, and I look at it like a miniature victory. But it's the rejection that hurts so much, isn't it? I mean, if you're going to wander around trying to get people on a cold call basis and try to get people to listen to you, how do you deal with it when they tell you no? Or in the worst case scenario, tell you to go F yourself, F you blank yourself? That happens too. Well, what I've learned how to do in my life is just look at it like a numbers game. Now, for me, it's easy. I just look at the payouts, and the payouts are much better than the rejection that I can take. So if I just get enough rejection, I know the payout's going to happen. But what you have to do is you have to not focus on the rejection. So focusing on the rejection in life goes to only harm you in life. Trust me on this. If you focus on the rejection in life, it will just mess your mind up and make you not want to do anything ever, period. So if you're starting a job and you're trying to make friends with people and you get rejected and you focus on the job, that rejection, and then you take that into your job, then you're going to perform poorly at your job because of what? Somebody who rejected you, an external force? It's all in your head, and it's all how you process this information. So when you take a look at the rejection that you have, find something positive about it and then use that. I'm finding positives in the fact that I've obviously improved in my skills in my sales field since the last year, because if last year I made 0 and this year I made what I made, that means that I had a 1,000,000 times percentage improvement. I mean, that's the only way that I can look at it. But when you're looking at rejection, don't focus on it. Remember, rejection is a way of life. And it's an old kind of thing that we've said before, and all these so-called gurus and self-help people say, but if Thomas Edison stopped after 1,000 different ways of not inventing the light bulb properly, we wouldn't have a light bulb today, or somebody else would have invented it, and who knows what that would look like. Or if Colonel Sanders, the famous Kentucky Fried Chicken founder, had stopped after getting hundreds of rejections, we would never have become a millionaire. He would have died poor on his Social Security pension, but he never stopped, and he never let the rejection get down to him. So you ask yourself, what do you do? Do you take the rejection? Do you take it personally? Or do you take something positive out of it? Do you say, I got rejected in this situation, how can I improve it? What didn't work about it? And how can I move on and try it again better in the future? Okay, so I'm going to be doing a blog pretty soon here at newthinkingnewlife.com, and that URL is right in the link description. I hope that you would take a look at it and let me know what you think. If you want to read about my life and my journey and my goals to support my family, adopt somebody who's special to my life, and see my net worth hit $1 million, maybe you'll come along with me and we can do it all together, and you can improve improve too. Thanks for listening to the Anon Admin, and this is NewThinkingNewLife.com's podcast. Goodbye for now. We'll talk to you in about a week or so.